So this one is called Are You Done with Well-Qualified Idiots? From my perspective, yeah, I am. This might sound strange given that I was a teacher, I've got an economics degree, I've got a postgraduate qualification, but I also feel that I'm well qualified to talk about these people because I worked with them for 35 years. Particularly at the last place, there's a lot of very well qualified idiots. I'm talking like Oxford and Cambridge levels of stupidity. I'm not saying that all of them are like this, but I know this one guy, Jonathan. I'm not talking about you, Jonathan. You're one of life's good guys and you're a critical thinker. But a lot of the people that I work with, they fell for the Britney Spears and the 91 Divot. Just it was just like a knife going through butter. It's just like lambs to the proverbial slaughter. And because fundamentally they are not very intelligent at all. In fact, pretty stupid. Because 91 Divot was like pretty obvious, I'm not going to go into why it was pretty obvious, but it was. And the Britney Spears and the Boosters, the miracle cure for 91 Divot, this was like developed in less than a year, for something that ended women here like, what was it, 87 years of age on average? Right, it's just like Diamond Princess data, all of that stuff, yeah, but they fell for it. So as I've said, I must have said this about 2 or 3 times, I'll say it one more time now. Having a great memory, a fast and accurate memory, and being therefore good at exams does not make you intelligent, yeah? And the fact that most of these well-qualified idiots, they took the Britney Spears and the Boosters, shows 2 things. First of all, they're stupid. Second of all, they've got no moral integrity at all. So if you're talking about the people from the November Hotel Sierra, those people, those that did wake up only woke up once it was their turn to have the Britney Spears and the Boosters. Not a peep from them before that. Indefensible, basically. And if they really did believe it, well, then that just shows again that they're incredibly stupid and totally untrustworthy. Because if you can do that, you've got the morals of the sewer and you're likely to do it again for reasons of expediency. If it suits you at the time, you'll do it again. It's not that I hate you, it's just that I don't trust you. Really sorry about that, but it's just true. As I say, don't hate you, just do not trust you at all. You've demonstrated that you're untrustworthy through your actions. Another point I just want to say now that I've just remembered is that many of these people, they actually believe in their own publicity. They think that because they were good at exams and they went to Oxford, Cambridge, or they were a member of Mensa or something, that they're superior to you. So therefore they have the right to impose their will on you because they believe that they're clever and you're stupid. And it's the natural order of things for them to impose their will on you because they believe that you're stupid and you can't organise your life for yourself. And they can do it much better than you can. So what you should do is just bow down to them and let them run your life for you, because they'll do a better job of running your life than you would do yourself. These people, they're usually attracted to technocracy. They want to be the technocrats. So some of these people, they'll be critical of Klaus only because they believe that they would be a better technocrat and they, in fact, would care for you better than Klaus. Klaus is a horrible person. But if you give them the power, then they would use it benevolently, which is just nonsense. These people, they would just, it's just their egos get out of control and they would they would use the power to pursue their own self-interest at the expense of yours. So as I'm saying here, these people, they're naturally inclined towards authoritarianism. I suppose Mark Passio would call it social Darwinism. They believe that they've got superior genes to you, so therefore it's acceptable for them to try to dominate you and tell you what you can and can't do. So I'll give you an example of this. This was, I can't remember whether this person was Oxford or Cambridge, but it was at the school that I used to work at. And Normally with the school dinner, there was like either meat or fish, and then there would be a vegetarian option. And this Cambridge graduate, I think she actually went and saw the head teacher because she was like a vegan or something, and she said, well, like, to save the planet, what I think you should do is withdraw the meat option on a Friday, so there's only vegetarian food available. But she's just so again, what she believes is that she's right, you're wrong, and she's going to impose her will on you for the collective good as defined by her. And these people, I don't know whether some of them are intentionally evil, some of them are unintentionally evil. And what they're doing here is trying to steal the free will of other people. So what am I talking about? Well, on a couple of occasions now, a person who will remain nameless has asked me to contact somebody and help them. Now, for me as a Christian, I'm quite happy to help people. On one occasion, the first occasion, it was pretty time consuming what I did to help this person. It was like, I don't know, if I include all the time preparing, it was probably at least a day's work. And the person that contacted me, who I helped directly, I dug them out of a hole actually, because I think they'd been let down by somebody else. So you do a whole day's work for somebody, free, didn't get paid, didn't want to be paid, wanted to help somebody because I'm a Christian. This person doesn't even deem it appropriate to just like write an email and say thank you, thanks for doing that. Now, again, this is something, a phenomenon that I've been noticing, which is people are very keen to blame other people. So, you'll get it all. It's all Jill Bates's fault. It's all Boris Johnson's fault. It's all Chris Whitty's fault. They deceived me. They coerced me. And it's all too easy to blame somebody else, isn't it? This is the point. It's all too easy to blame somebody else. When really, if we're to get out of this, what needs to happen is there needs to be a moral and spiritual revolution. We need to change our own attitudes, right? Including some very, very basic stuff that I taught to my son from, I don't know, about 6 months old, as soon as he could start speaking a few words, yeah? Which is to say thank you to people. It doesn't cost anything to say thank you. But I think for many of these highly educated idiots, it almost like hurts them. They feel it's demeaning to them to say thank you when somebody's helped them. And I'm done with it. I'm done with these people. Again, I don't hate them, but if you're not even prepared to say thank you when somebody's helped you, then I'm going to use my scarce time to help other people who are not on a massive ego trip, who don't try to gaslight you. I'll help other people. My time is scarce. If I help you, that means that I can't help somebody else in the same time. It means that I do that whole day that I spent preparing, doing this work for this geezer. I could have done lots of other things in that time. I could have done, I'm sure my wife would have liked me to do some vacuum cleaning, for example. So anyway, I think it's on like Saturday or something. I get an email again from this same geezer, and he's like saying, oh, can you contact XYZ? And this XYZ, I'm not going to mention the names because I'm not going to even give these people free publicity, because they're both grifters, yeah? And a grifter is somebody who, they're not in it to spread truth and enlightenment. They're in it to make money, right? So constantly, you'll notice with me, I've never asked for any money, right? Because I'm not doing it for money. That's very, very important to me. I did a YouTube short about that about 2 years ago. Yeah, so I'm not doing it for money. But the people that grift, including these big alternative mainstream media, let's call them that. They pretend to be alternative, but they're just mainstream media. They're controlled by the same people that control Sky News, GB News, BBC. Right, so this person, let's call them X, right? She she's got like paid Substack, so she's grifting in that sense, and then she works for another alternative mainstream grifting organization that's run by well, it's run by, as far as I can see it, there may be about 3 people, and one of them used to work for GCHQ, so basically a former UK spy. Another geezer used to work in the armed services. I'm not going to tell you which one because you'll probably be able to guess which alternative grifting alternative mainstream media channel I'm referring to. And the other thing that's quite interesting about this channel is that they had, for a while, a long time ago, they had this guy called Puddick, whatever, and he was part of the Brian, what's called the Brian Harvey Circle, you know, all of that. And there's links also to this Pie and Mash movie thing, which was a YouTube channel, which I'm now convinced that was also not what it was portrayed to be. It was a controlled situation. Anyway, so this person, you know, they say, oh, can you help this person, right? So send them an email, like, what do you want to talk about? Because there's not really any detail, you know. So you're thinking, like, what's going on here? Straight away, my spider senses are tingling. I'm thinking, right, is this some sort of trap here? Are they going to, like, you know, record the conversation, like try to, because this other person as well had sent me some really stupid anti-Semitic material, which is just a complete no-no for me. Like, if you think Jews are the cause of all the world's problems and you deny the Holocaust, and then you can, I don't like swearing, but I will on this occasion. You can fuck off, right? Because I'll have nothing to do with that. Yeah, I've done videos on this, but let's make it clear again. The Holocaust happened and the Jews are not responsible for all the world's problems. Yeah, there's two types of people that propagates crap like this. The first one is useful idiots who actually believe it. And then the second one is the evil Satanists who spread lies like that. And what they hope is to energize and mobilize the useful idiots so they actually go off and do some harm to fellow human beings, which is what the Satanists want. I'm going to do a separate video about this, because again, it's more divide and rule. Once you see it, you just can't unsee it. So anyway, this person, yeah, so it's what they want to know about is, like, what do I think about some, it's like a technocratic initiative, yeah, from I think he called it like health economy or something. Anyway, it's just some more technocracy, you know, where the government takes over the economy. They decide what's going to be produced, how it's going to be produced, and then the government decides which people in society are going to consume and which aren't. In other words, they allocate the finished goods and services to people that they think are either deserving or undeserving. Yeah. So, you know, I found it's like, how obvious is all of this stuff, right? So I phoned up this person, and this person, yeah, in their bio on this website, it mentions that they're, again, I don't want to swear, they're a member of Mensa, yeah? So straight away, that's another thing that sets the spider senses tingling, because, like, what type of idiot actually advertises and boasts about the fact that they are a member of Mensa? Like, you know, come on. Like, so I'm kind of feeling a little bit, I've promised this guy, I always keep my promises. So I thought, I've got to talk to this person because I promised to do it, right? But I don't really want to speak to somebody who boasts about them being a member of bloody Mensa, because it's, you just know you're going to be talking to a highly qualified idiot. And if you think that those stupid Mensa tests with squares and circles and whatever, like, is any indication of intelligence, then you are impossibly dim. It's the same as those IQ tests. If you've looked at them, like, how can anybody think that encapsulates and measures somebody's intelligence? It's unbelievable. It's the same. I've noticed this when I was at school. You know, the dimmest people in the room were always the maths and the physics teachers, who are like really good at those little problems, you know, and you could feed, it's like a pocket calculator. You could get them to do like really simple, fast calculations, straight line thinking. They were brilliant at it. But that is not intelligence, you know. Without exception, all of those people fell for Divot 91 and they fell for the Britney Spears. They went and had it multiple times, demonstrating that they were stupid. But that doesn't stop these people from boasting, like self-proclaiming their own intelligence. It's unbelievable, you know. Just because they say that they've got a Mensa score of over 100 or something. Another thing that I've noticed, when I was teaching, and just especially in the Southeast, is what you might call academic credentialism, you know, where people, they almost like their self-identity is just inextricably linked to their academic qualifications. And the first thing that these people do when you talk to them is that they'll want to ask you like, where did you study? Not really interested in what you studied. What they're interested in is, where did you study, right? And then they'll say, I went to Cambridge. I went to Oxford. And then after the next question is, what college you went to? Because in case you didn't know, there's like a pecking order, even with Cambridge colleges. So somebody might say Oriel, and then they might trump it with another college, which is just, I don't know. What it shows is somebody whose mindset is based on status and ego, and these people they mistake true intelligence for being an academic repeater station with a good memory. So anyway, I phoned this person up, start talking. Does not understand anything at all about beyond like sound bites, right? So you have to sort of she doesn't understand basic concepts like scarcity. She doesn't understand the fundamental economic problem of what to produce, how to produce, for whom. She's still at the level where doesn't really understand what technocracy is and just sees things as like it must be communist without actually understanding that fascism is also a form of technocracy. And the thing that's this health economy thing is, it's more of an example of fascism than it is with communism. So I'm explaining this thing to this person, right? And she puts the phone down. So I thought, maybe the connection's dodgy, you know, and when you get a dodgy connection, what does a normal person do? Well, they quickly redial, don't they? You know, especially when they've asked you to phone them. It would be just a common courtesy to say, the phone's disconnected. You know, I was speaking. Line goes quiet. A normal person would just say, sorry about that, my connection dropped. And then they would phone you back. But anyway, get nothing from that at all. 7 or 8 hours later, I get an email from this person. It's like, she's going on about Mensa. It's just like, you know, just ridiculous. So, where am I going with this? Well, basically, I'm done with these egomaniacs who are selfish, who like they try to treat you as though you were their boss. And it's like, I'm a superior being to you because I'm a doctor, I was a consultant, or I'm a superior being to you because I'm a member of Mensa, and I'm going to treat you like dirt, yeah? And you're going to suck it up, and you're going to be at my beck and call. It's like, no way. Again, let's get this absolutely straight. I don't hate you. Don't hate you at all. But do I want to use my valuable time to help you? Or do I want to use my valuable time to help other people? Nicer people. People who maybe pass the test. And the test that I'm referring to is no exam here. The test that I'm referring to is the greatest intelligence test ever held. And also the greatest moral test that was ever held. Yeah, and we're talking about, did you go along with the live action role play that was 91 Divot? Yeah, were you, back in spring, summer, 2020, what were you doing then? Were you enjoying yourself in the back garden, barbecuing? Yeah? Or were you speaking out? When the Britney Spears came into being, were you talking out about it then? Or did you only talk about it when it was you that was threatened with it? Or were you sweet with other people having to have it? But when it came to you and the coercion applying to you, that's when you felt the need to speak out. Yeah, because I'm done with those people. You're bankrupt. You're morally bankrupt. Don't want anything to do with you. Don't hate you. But I'm not going to use my scarce time. I'm going to use my scarce time to help other people who did pass the test. So what's my advice to these people, right? My advice would be show a bit of respect for other people. Like what Jesus said, treat other people like you would like to be treated yourself. So if you're the type of person that this person was like begging for my help, email, like bombarded with emails on a Saturday morning, right? Presumptuous, just a little bit, I think. And then for you to put the phone down on that person after you've been begging them to be, that is beyond arrogant, you know. Would you do that to yourself? You wouldn't, would you? But it's okay. You think, oh, it's okay to treat this kind of pleb like dirt because they're not a member of Mensa. It's like, you can do one. The other thing that I'm coming to the conclusion of is these big alternative mainstream media channels, they're all controlled, all of them. I'm not going to go through them name by name because I promised I wouldn't do that anymore, but they're all controlled, and particularly if they're grifting as well. So I don't know, maybe you're like me and you've been moving away from these channels anyway, and I think this is what happens, you see, is that favorite phrase of mine is time is revealing. And yeah, eventually, you know, as you learn to know a particular organization or individuals, they reveal themselves for what they really are. So yeah, just don't hate them, just put them on ignore, like just go off. And I was listening to Mark Brzezski just now, and yeah, he's like saying, just live your life, And for me, it's a lovely blue sky, sunny day. And interact with nature, I'm going to do an interview with a guy called Ryan Sanders, who's like one of life's good guys. So yeah, just live our lives basically, and realize that time is scarce, and talk to people who are respectful, courteous, rather than these kind of materialistic egomaniacs who kind of many of these people, they came to the party late, didn't they? They came to the party late. They were, it was a bit like, you know, like the Italian army, right? So, you know, at the beginning of the war, they sided with the tiny German moustache man because that's the way that the tide was flowing, right? And then it gets to the November Hotel Sierra mandate, and then all of a sudden, they've changed sides, don't they? They flick to the other side. So these people, they're not trustworthy. They're not trustworthy. And yeah, that's all I want to say today. So I'm done with these well-qualified idiots, you know, because these were the people who invariably failed the greatest intelligence test ever held. And they also failed the greatest moral test that was ever held, because that's what both of these things were. It was a test of intelligence and a test of your morality. So that's all I want to say today. So God bless.